The good old Kiwi tradition of Christmas, Burnout. Joining us on the program from the Maxim Institute, Tim Wilson. Tim, kia ora. Thanks for joining us.
Kia ora, Andrew. And yeah, I mean, I actually, this whole Christmas burnout thing, that we can unpack that, but I fear that I'm going to actually suck even more fun out of this by saying it's a symptom of a deeper malaise.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think that's a fantastic way to start a deep and heavy conversation. And hey, it's sometimes you do that for friends. Sometimes you need a bit of an intervention, and it's not just individually. Are you saying this is more of a societal issue, Tim?
Yeah, that this is a society issue. So we talk about, when often people will ask each other at this time, "Oh, how are you?" And the answer that I often hear is busy.
Yeah.
And variations include super busy or crazy busy.
Yeah.
And those variations, it's interesting because you described it too, the sort of post-Christmas slump.
Yeah.
When the bills fall due, the family fights worsen, the drinks get bigger, the behavior goes downhill,
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera. That's quite well documented. But just recently, just last year, they documented a thing called pre-Christmas burnout.
Oh, my goodness.
So you've got your post-Christmas burnout, which is foregrounded by pre-Christmas burnout. The symptoms are tearfulness. I know you're on the verge just before, Andrew. It's okay.
It's all right.
You're in a safe place. You can weep with me.
I've been chopping onions. That's the truth.
You must have got something in your eye.
Exactly.
Tearfulness, sleeplessness, and fatigue.
Wow.
And these are all signs of pre-Christmas burnout as well. So I guess this got me thinking though about our utilitarian, work-based Western societies, and just whether we've actually lost the concept of leisure and what leisure means. And what we're in at the moment is it's sort of like the frenzy in December buys the leisure in January.
Yep.
Only, is this just what's happening? I'm not convinced.
Is the whole North-Southern Hemisphere thing part of the problem here? That here we are in the Antipodes trying to do our Christmas celebration and our let's get everything done before the summer holiday. We try and do that at the same time. One of them's ridiculous. Let's times that by 2.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think there is something there. I think also culturally we're a people who we like to get things done. We pride ourselves on our pragmatism.
Yep.
Whereas, say for example, you might compare us to say the Germans, who they're more planny. I hope I'm not making any cultural cartoon here.
No.
But I think that there's something happening.
There's a cultural generalization based upon some truth somewhere. And hey, have certainly celebrated some good traditional German food at Christmas time. It's worth planning for, I tell you that.
Yes, yeah. And the reason that I raised the Germans is that this and in the column, because I want to get us to the German philosopher Josef Pieper, who wrote a book called Leisure, the Basis of Culture in 1948. So we're not talking about, put away your cell phones and everything's going to be hunky-dory.
Yeah.
He actually diagnosed in post-industrial society a preoccupation with utilitarianism, with work busyness. Let me just quote what one of the things that he wrote: repose, leisure, peace belong among the elements of happiness. If we have not escaped from harried rush, from mad pursuit, from unrest, from the necessity of care, we are not happy. And what of contemplation? Its very premise is freedom from the fetters of workaday busyness.
Yeah.
So we're talking about freedom here.
And hey, when it comes to the pursuit of happiness, which is, I suppose, something that to an extent all of us seem to be chasing, that maybe the happiness that we're looking for is not about the pursuit. It's about the more of the God rest you merry gentlemen, and more of about the peace, and more about of the being able to put our work to one side and lean into the leisure.
Yeah, and that's something that Josef Pieper's very good at sort of separating that out. So it's not just putting stuff down, but it's actually choosing silence, choosing contemplation. And And if I was reflecting on this as I was writing the column, it's like, when was the last time I actually looked at a tree and contemplated the bark, the wind playing through the leaves, the texture of the grass below? You get moments of this, instance, but when you actually pause and decide, okay, this sounds like a ludicrous proposition, but I'm going to stare at this tree for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I would submit that if you are to do this, if you've got the guts to do this, because that's spending time with yourself,
Yeah,
Andrew,
exactly.
and that can be painful. You'll come away from it feeling better off. Pieper writes, "Only the silent hear, and those who do not remain silent do not hear."
Wow. That's on the summer to-do list, and I'm not saying that in a way of saying, oh gosh, now I've got more stuff to do over the summer break.
You got to throw 5 things away before you do that.
Exactly. Me and a tree are going to get some quality time together over the summer holidays, and not necessarily a Christmas tree. Tim, thank you for your wisdom and encouragement. I do hope that a bit of rest is part of your Christmas season. I know you've got a household full of young children. That doesn't necessarily lend itself to rest, but I do certainly hope that there's some peace and joy in amongst your Christmas season as well. Thanks for all that you've brought to the program throughout this year. Very much appreciate your wisdom and insight as always. Thanks so much for joining us.
A great pleasure, Andrew, and I look forward to reading copious notes on the tree. And may God bless you and your whānau as well. See you later.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.